Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. It's Gaming Friday. I'm Gary.
And I'm a brutal legend.
And that is what we are taking a look at today. Brutal Legend came out on the 13th of October 2009 on the Xbox 360, the PS3, and eventually on PC, Mac, and Linux. It was developed by legendary game makers Double Fine, of course designed by Tim Schafer and published by EA. And Tim Schafer, you know, the legend, The Secret of Monkey Island, The Full Throttle, Psychonauts, Grim Fandango.
Oh, I've heard a lot about Psychonauts. I never got around to playing it though.
Absolutely great games. Tim Schafer makes very good games that don't do very well at all. You know, they never sell very well,
Right.
or they're always remembered as being classics, but
Yeah.
they just never kind of made the money on release, which is always a shame. Brutal Legend is a third-person action-adventure hack-and-slash real-time strategy game, where you play as Eddie Riggs, played and voiced by Jack Black.
Yeah.
Who is a roadie who gets transported to a fantasy world of metal and rock and roll.
Yeah.
You've got some famous voice actors and artists from rock and metal, like Lemmy from Motorhead.
Yeah.
You've got Rob Halford from Judas Priest.
I think Ozzy Osbourne's in it as well.
Ozzy Osbourne from Black Sabbath. You've got Lita Ford from The Runaways. You've got Tim Curry. You know, and
There's a whole star lineup here.
there is a whole style lineup, and this game also has over 100 metal songs within the game as well, from lots of different artists throughout the decades.
Yeah.
This is a game that when it first came out, I got it because, you know, big fan of metal and rock and roll.
Yeah.
And also knowing who Tim Schafer is, being a fan of his previous games, it was like, this is a no-brainer. I've got to get this game.
Yeah. Which way am I going quickly, just before we carry on?
If you press the back button, or the
Back button.
yeah, you can get a map, and so you can get a quest.
Right. Okay.
So
right.
this is a open world. If you zoom out, you can see that there are lots of other little side quests and things that you can do.
Yeah, it's
like all those little
quite a big
markers.
map, actually, yeah.
And so this is it's an open world game with a massive map with things to do, but there's just not that much things to do.
Well, I mean,
I grew tired of this game after about 3 hours in my original playthrough, and after that boredom that hit me, I never went back to the game again. I never finished it. I was just like, that was pretty dreadful.
I think you were playing better games at the time, actually. I mean, what year did you say this came out?
This came out in 2009.
2009. Because, I mean, weirdly enough, this is kind of like a... is this where I'm supposed to be? No, I am there. Oh, I'm on that mountain. Right, okay. So I have to go back to the other mountain.
Yeah. So you can, if you press right trigger, and then you can select one of the powers, then you can have the Guitar Hero moment.
Yeah. Get my fucking car out. Boom. Yeah. Now I remember why I like this game. And yeah, I saw this game and there was a lot of strategy behind it. Oh fuck! What the fuck's that?
Well, not to begin with, the game opens up with pretty much being a God of War style, you know, hack and slash.
Yeah, which was pretty cool because I played a lot of God of War at that time. Oh, get those guys together. Yeah, come on, boys. And then it starts to add in these little elements where you have your own troops.
Yeah.
These are the headbangers. They're part of the...
reminds me of the Overlord games where you have the imps that run around with you.
Yeah, that as well. And so... there's a lot of things in this game that harken back to other games for me, and so I started to get into it. And so after you initially land on the world, you go around and you start obviously interacting with all the different people around, gaining newer units and getting upgrades and stuff like that. I think those are different headbangers.
Yeah, they're like pop rockers.
Yeah, they're pop rockers. So you have to kill those guys and obviously get together with your others. But the storyline behind it was pretty adventurous as well. I mean, I'm sure there's a love interest involved. Fighting against the big bad, and you know obviously you're trying to save the land of metal.
It's like they've taken the posters or the artwork for those albums, and realised a full world inspired by that artwork.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the music. Tim Schafer said that the music videos that would accompany those albums never really did the rock metal fantasy universe any justice.
Yeah, it's kind of like Iron Maiden.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
like I like Iron Maiden, but I'm not a massive Iron Maiden fan. But then when you look at the covers, you're like, oh my god, these guys are like devils from another world.
Right, yeah, it's Satan's work.
And yeah, actually, yeah, they're actually really nice guy, and they like playing rock music.
Yeah.
Go on, motherfucker, get
So the story with Eddie Briggs. I mean, he's quite a cool character. You know, he explains that he's a roadie. He works for a rock band that they're full of jackasses, really.
Yeah.
And he has an accident in which he ends up in this world, and he was brought here by a giant metal demon of some kind.
Yeah.
And now that he's here, this fantasy world is in peril. And so he goes around roadieing for another rock star who basically just needs to get the band back together again.
Yeah.
And you need to go and recruit your real-time strategy style units to use in the bigger stages of the game.
And they've got
that's when it goes from hack and slash to the real-time strategy stuff.
Yeah, and they've also got some really unique ones as well, haven't they? Some really unique units. Is this already activated?
No, you can break that one.
How do I break that one?
I can't remember if you hold the A button is one attack.
Boom.
Holding the X button is a different attack. Obviously, tapping them is something else. There you go.
There we go.
So, that's another thing that would immediately put me off is when you activate that and it goes, well done, you've done one of 120 of these. Go find the other 119 scattered around the world.
You don't like hidden packages anymore.
Not when there's 120 of just that one type, considering the game is filled with other types of...
But they'll give you the upgrades for your better units so that you can get all the achievements. Because obviously at the time, games were all about just fucking achievement whoring, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This
came out at the time of the Assassin's Creed games, which had thousands of hidden collectibles in the open world, which made it, and tried to make the open world fun or, engaging, that there was something to do.
Yeah.
For me, that's just filler. It's not content.
Yeah, but it depends on, like I said, it also depends on what you're playing at the time. And I think you were playing better games at this time.
Probably playing Gears of War and Guitar Hero at this time.
Yes, I think maybe maybe Halo Wars or Command and Conquer was out, so you were getting your real-time strategy filled as well.
I always said this game is hack and slash light, real-time strategy light, Guitar Hero light.
Yeah.
It doesn't do any of those things very well. And so that, for me, was why the game failed. That's why I never wanted to go back to it. I was just like, if I want, I'll go play Guitar Hero, or I'll go and play, God of War, or I'll go and play Command and Conquer. Because this game doesn't mix the three genres very well at all.
Well,
It gets overly complicated with the amounts of controls where every button has multiple functions. And during the big battle sequences, it just became a mess, a cluster mess.
But but like you said, you only got 3 hours into it.
Yeah,
and then stopped. Yeah. I got all the way through it. So as the game advanced and I got my better units, like I'm pretty sure there's like Iron Maidens at some point, like these females.
Yes,
I can't remember what their special skills were, but you would just get swarms of them, and you would just just do it. I don't
know if you can skip the cutscene.
Yeah. Did I smash my way through here now? Check the. Get into the lair. Oh, well, he probably told me something then, Gary.
If you just press Y again, I think, maybe.
He's...
No?
Headed into the lair of the giant spider.
Okay, I need to get into the lair. Why can't I get in
there? Nobody knows.
Right, yeah, that's right. I want to get in now.
I'm heading in there now. Sure you don't want to talk me out of it?
Yeah, this is one of the things that I really did enjoy about the game was Jack Black. Was all of Double Fine's writing team.
Yes.
It actually looks like an album cover, but no, you're actually playing.
You're actually playing. Yeah, I was like, I'll wait for it to load.
No, and that's the dialogue. I really love the characters. After the first hour, and pretty much after the first 15 minutes, I was just like, oh, it's a shame that this is a game. Because this would have been a great film.
Yeah,
this would have been an awesome animated film.
But you gave up. I think, like I said, I think you were playing better things at the time, and you gave up too easily because you were focused on those games. And if you'd come back, you would have smashed it out, and you would have enjoyed it. Because later on, the interaction between Jack Black and I think there's a female character who he likes, but she doesn't like him.
Yeah.
And stuff happens to her, and it's very surprising. kind of how it ends, because it does leave it open for a sequel. But through all the lands that you've gone through, the designs and, like you said, the script work, it all worked. It got to the point where once I completed the game, I realized there was a multiplayer.
That's right, an online versus.
And I was like, really? And so I went online, and with all the skills that I had garnered through playing the game, I was actually able to whoop ass, because other people were trying to play it. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah.
And I'd already, I
didn't know what I was doing.
I'd already played the game. Well, it was all, Jack, Riggs is your main guy, and every unit goes around him. So you have to use your defenses and your attacks. I mean,
but trying to surround yourself by a group of what you hope is your units, and then, telling them to go somewhere to attack a certain area or defend a certain area, I usually found it unresponsive, or that I would be out of range to communicate with them. Then I'd be trying to very quickly change.
Boom, there we go.
Boom. Trying to remember the controls to do the different moves that's required to either break the scenery or to to charge up your men, or to have the resources to buy the different things that you need for the area.
Yeah, so
it just became a mess of stuff.
Wow, I mean,
granted, I didn't devote enough time to doing it, and that was because the game you'd
gotten
worn me
enough
out.
from it.
I was already getting bored riding around this giant open world to get between missions.
But I didn't have. I remember at the time I wasn't playing anything else, and so I was actually playing this, not playing other greater games.
Yeah.
And so I got a lot out of this. The fun, like I said, the fun metal aspect, the dialogue with Jack Black, the combinations of characters, and so when actually you do put the time to it, the game does work to the point where you're able to manage everything. You'll know the specific units you're going to use and what abilities, and how you'll actually fall back to send them in and then run back in with your second wave.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally forgot then I need to hit the, what was it? Can I do the face melt? Y-A-X-A, boom, motherfuckers. That's how you do that.
Faust mate in riff.
That's it. It's knowing little moments. Like, I wasn't going to survive all of that, so I had to separate them out.
Yeah, you don't really have a visible health bar, so to speak, but if you take enough damage, you die.
Yeah, you just die.
Now, there are other sections of the game where if you do die, you have to repeat the entire level again.
Oh, yeah. Main story plot points.
Story missions, that was very agitating, quite annoying. Because you just like,
I love the
where's
way
my checkpoint?
Yes, it's like you're talking like you got all the way to the end, but it's like, no, I didn't actually. I stopped halfway through. So it's like, yeah, you do die and you have to do the boss fights over again, but that's what makes you better. So that when you get to the end of the game, I think we killed whoever I was playing with. We killed the last boss like that because we knew everything.
Powered up,
use this, use that counter this. All right, okay. So I'm gonna try the Earth Shaker on this fucking thing because I don't know if that's gonna work.
I found with a lot of the bosses and a lot of the levels that I had completed that I was just trialing in error.
Yeah. Until
eventually a tooltip came up on the screen saying, "Oh, you might want to do this," and I'm like, "Oh, really?" Because I had no idea that was what I was supposed to do.
Run away! Yeah.
But then I put that part and parcel with other Tim Schafer games where, if you're coming from the logic of Monkey Island, where it's like you're going to use the rubber chicken to zip line down here. It's like, really?
See,
wouldn't have thought of that.
Give me his list. Give me his list of games again.
Psychonauts, Full Throttle, Monkey Island, Grim Fandango.
Never did.
My favourites anyway.
Yeah, never did Full Throttle. Heard it was supposed to be great.
Yeah.
Never did Grim Fandango.
Right.
Heard it was supposed to be great. Never did Psychonauts. Heard that was supposed to be great.
Yeah.
And what was the last one?
The Monkey Islands.
Never done any of the Monkey Islands.
Jesus, they were good. Did you have a childhood?
I did have childhood, but you know me, I was playing Doom while you were doing point and click. I mean, Monkey Island wasn't out on the PlayStation.
Not straight away,
right?
No.
So I
PC games.
Yeah, I didn't get to play it. I didn't get to play. I didn't get to have all that kind of fun, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But like I said, talking about the designer of the game, he's made some really, really good games in the past.
Yes.
And I never played them, but I played this one, and this one was good.
Sure.
I enjoyed this one.
This is the biggest budget game I think these ever had.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, and on the back of that, like I said, I've heard so much weird stuff about Psychonauts.
Yeah.
And I've seen that it's had HD re-releases.
It's been remastered. I think it had a sequel as well.
Yeah, never played it. Never
Tim Schafer's been promising a sequel to this for quite a while now as well.
Yes, and that was a bastard because, this ended on such a... this ended on such a point of the story that because I was behind the hero, because I was the fucking hero by that point,
Yeah.
because I didn't get a sequel either, I'm like, yeah, you bastard, you left me out in the cold. You know, that's cold.
But that's EA, you know? It didn't make all the money, so no sequel.
Yeah, and maybe it could have been tidied up in certain areas, but as a basic... Not as a AAA title.
I mean, because this game, critically, it did well. Those that brought the game and played the game all said good things about it.
Yeah.
But then the game sort of disappeared.
Yeah, kind of like an old metal album that everyone went, wow, that was great seeing that on tour in '88, but nope, nobody...
But it stopped touring.
Yeah.
It didn't release any more albums.
Yeah, the lead singer dramatically died in a car wreck off a bridge.
It's a one-hit wonder.
While having sex with like 4 women. But then again, I mean, nowadays, like say with the release of The Dirt with Motley Crue and people love 80s rock, stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're into that or you've watched that, maybe go back and pick this game up. I mean, you got this for Steam.
Yes,
it's on Steam at the moment. I mean, was it expensive?
I got it for £1.
Yes, well worth it.
I got it on sale for £1.
If you're not playing anything...
That was what sold it to me. It was just like, you know what, I didn't really give this game the light of day. You know, I was like, I'm been listening to my metal music again. Just like, let's give this game a chance.
Yeah.
And I got, a few hours into it, and already I'm just like, I don't know if I want to keep playing it.
Riggs, give the...
there we go. I really like Riggs, really like the voice acting.
I'm going to die.
Love Jack Black. But it was just some of the gameplay mechanics, and then it's the open world. As soon as I'm in the open world and driving around in that car, I'm just like,
yeah, but then again...
Tedium.
You never did Grand Theft Auto either.
When
you sit there
I
and go...
do Grand Theft Auto.
Well, no, but when you sit there and you go, there's 120 of those hidden packages I have to find, that's boring.
Yeah.
I did that in Grand Theft Auto. I've done that in Grand Theft Auto. Hey, I enjoy it when I do that because it brings more of the world. There's things you don't see when you're driving that linear path. Where it's like, go from marker A to marker B, do the mission, and then you move on to the next mission. And I'm like, but I want to go over... I can go over there, right? Yeah, you can go over there. Well, I want to go over there. Yeah, but...
No.
We don't want you to go over there. Yeah, I'm like, fuck you. I'm getting in my car and I'm gone. And with this game, like with a lot of games, you have to unlock your abilities.
Right, yes.
To go to certain areas. And you can complete the game without actually needing all of the abilities.
You're just making it harder on yourself.
Yeah, it does get a bit harder, and it is a bit of a challenge to get through standardly. But if you take the time to...
In some of the giant real-time strategy fights that I remember, I struggled. I was just like, my troops not doing enough damage, or they're dying really quickly.
Yeah, that'll do it, because you can
my
get upgrades.
cooldown of doing my big hits, I've got to wait longer.
Yeah, you need all those upgrades. And there is I think you can actually complete the game and go back and carry on from where you are just to collect the upgrades.
Yeah.
They don't really affect
the completionist
online.
No.
They do go for achievements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it depends on how you want to do it. If you're finding it difficult, I've just killed a motherfucker.
Very good.
If you're finding it difficult, go around and do some of the challenges. Get some more upgrades. Maybe practice with some of your units. Try and remember the riffs. Before you play them, so that you go, I need that power chord, R, left, Y, X, Y, and boom, done, and half the people are dead.
Yeah.
Once you get to certain bosses and stuff, take your time, enjoy the game. It's fun. It's not a chore. It's not a chore. Sorry, it's not a painful experience to go through like Gears of War 2. Gears of War 2 is really, really good, but then when his wife comes along, you're like, oh man.
So harsh. Depressing story stuff.
And then Gears 3.
This game does keep it light and keep it fun.
Yeah.
All the way through, despite its death metal approach to, it's a cartoony death metal approach.
yeah. Oh shit, I'm gonna have to hit a marker. Right, where am I going?
If you press the left analog stick in, you do get your nitro.
Oh, right. Nitro! Okay, I'm supposed to turn left. The soundtrack is pretty cool for this game.
Like I said, there's 100 tracks of metal.
Yeah.
So it's you might not be able to skip the track if it's one that you don't like, but for the most part, the music's pretty good.
I was gonna say it's about 3 minutes long. Live with it.
Yeah.
Right, am I going left at this point? Yeah.
Well, I do like the fact that when you're riding the car, the indicators will pop on to tell you which direction you do need to go in.
Oh, yeah, I should have been watching that.
Because the game doesn't have a mini map or a waypoint system otherwise.
That takes me back to the Getaway.
So you just kind of just have to remember the map.
Did you ever play the Getaway?
I remember the Getaway.
Watching for your indicators and going, right, left,
I'll
left,
miss
left.
my turn. Yeah.
Oh shit, I turned the wrong way. Am I supposed to go this way?
Yeah.
If I fail this one, I have to do it all over again. I remember that.
But at least this is just a short drive.
Yeah.
Compared to some of the challenges, which is drive across the map.
Yeah,
And then
and the
drive back again.
Quickest time.
Yeah.
But then that's where you would go to get your upgrades for your car, you know, and
It's just that the side quests, they just didn't have the story beats that I was enjoying from the main storylines.
Yeah.
And in order to make things easier on yourself, you have to go and do those side quests.
Lemmy.
It's
Yeah,
great.
but then, like you said,
It's
there's,
Lemmy.
that's the little bits, you know, the little bits from each game,
yes, yeah.
you know, and you just take the little bits from left and right. He's about to play now.
Yep, because the other character is dying.
Yeah.
So now he needs to revive her with some metal.
I was gonna say, is that I can't remember if that's the girl that he's in love with.
Well, it's the one he's been flirting with since he arrived here.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the blonde in the background. I'm like, does she die as well? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I played this.
No, but the story is the driving force for the game. It is so well written and so fun that, you know, after your introduction to the game, if you're not hooked on the story, I would find very little to keep you actually playing.
Yeah.
In terms of gameplay.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. If you're watching this game like, it's not for me, don't play it. No. If you look at this game and go, oh fuck, I'm a Motorhead fan. I've never realised Lemmy was in a game. Hit this shit up.
Definitely.
You'll be fucking all over this. I mean, you got to take a little bit from everything, you know. Like we said, I never liked Guitar Hero.
Okay, I was in the phase of Guitar Heroes, enjoyed those.
Yeah, I would try to play guitar. I was the better singer. I was the better singer. But then when you hit right trigger and you look at your solos here and you're like, right, okay, what do I need? What do I need? You know, in the middle of battle, I think all of these
especially when they all light up. Yeah,
you know.
But then there will be another one that fills up later for
relics.
You know, for paying for your units on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to doing like the live gigs kind of performance shows that you have to do.
Yeah.
Where you need your guys with the subwoofers and the speakers.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're the sound ones. Yeah. They fucking do massive loads of noise. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. There's so much I forgot about this game, and it brings back such happy memories. And the weirdest thing is, I completed this in a day.
You completed it in a day.
I completed it in a day. I started playing it at like 9 o'clock in the morning and had it completed by about 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I'd done everything.
I heard it's about 9 to 13 hours ish gameplay.
Yeah, once we'd gotten everything, it was just like, yeah, we're good, you know.
Yeah.
I will say that there is no major replayability to the game unless you want to go back into the world, you know, Jack Black style. Just, you know, just keep living into it. Once you've done everything, and if you're that good enough of a player, I mean, it does look really nice.
It'd be great to put on and listen to an album, you know.
Yeah.
Just play your own metal album that you want and ride around.
That's it. Just sit by a tree. Don't worry about it. Some games take themselves way too seriously. And then some games you want to be fucking amazing, and they actually... you finish them in 3 hours or don't ever play them again.
Yeah.
You know, you just... I don't know. I'm getting back into driving around in my hot rod. I don't even know where I'm going now. I'm just driving around past all these different design.
Well, I think the beams of light are usually where the missions are.
Oh yeah, that's a beacon. Yeah, I just thought it looked cool.
Yeah.
You know, like the flyers.
Yeah.
And the little spiky. But I'm gonna go this way. I mean, look at it. Look at it.
So, do you recommend Brutal Legend, Iain?
Yes, but I only recommend it to metalheads, gamers who've never actually played it. It's fun. It's a good couple of hours. You'll get it out of your system and be like, wow, that was cool, and that'll be done. If you're a serious gamer who's looking for depth and replayability and level design and all the AAA shit that people look for that actually isn't really out there, it's just not out there. You're not going to find anything in this because, like I said, you'll play it for a couple of hours, get bored with probably the repetitiveness too early to actually give the game the chance to give the game the chance to unlock some of the other stuff so that you can get into a big battle sequence and have multiple units all coming at once trying to battle all the different stuff. I don't think the multiplayer is still out there anymore. I don't think it actually even lasted that long when the game came out. I don't even think people even knew there was one.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, look at this. This is only a fraction of this world.
Yeah.
And I know that there are so much more out there for people to unlock. The dialogue is really funny from Jack Black. The interactions with all the rock stars is absolutely brilliant. Lemmy, Ozzy, all those great ones. Some of the controls might be difficult, but when are they not? And once you get on top of them, you'll get on top of them. What's that? Is that a trader? I can't remember. Or was that another car? Like I said, there's just so much into the game, and yeah.
I really want to recommend the game, but I'm kind of in between because I couldn't complete it myself. I didn't want to stay with the game myself.
That's what I'm thinking.
And even after revisiting the game, after playing for a few hours, I just feel like this would have been a better film. Because I love the writing, I love the characters.
Yeah, I think
it's just a shame that the scenes in between are just not that exciting. Riding around the endless wasteland.
I think there was an idea of it becoming an animated film at some point, but
which just holds it back for me. So it's great for a couple of hours, but boring gameplay, really strong characters, funny dialogue. It can be enough to keep you going, and if you just set aside 6 hours and go,
easy,
blast my way through Brutal Legend. And if you're a fan of metal, you will probably enjoy it just that extra bit more. But from a general gameplay mechanic, play God of War, play Command and Conquer, play Guitar Hero, and you've played all the better elements of what this game is trying to make up for.
But in its defense as well, it takes all of those good elements and actually puts it in the game, which isn't a complete massive pile of sludge.
I really like Tim Schafer, and I like what they're trying to do. I just feel like maybe this game just didn't have enough time, or maybe they could have just kept working on the real-time strategy stuff.
I mean, it's not a massive pile of fucking shit.
It really is not a big pile of shit. And getting this game for £1, I'm like, that's a bargain. Because the 3 odd hours that I've revisited the game with, I'm like, I've got my money's worth already.
I reckon there will be a part in the future where you'll go to me, hey, I complete Brutal Legend. I'm like, really?
Finally, yes,
it's pretty cool,
because it's not in my memory, it is overly complicated with the amounts of controls and buttons that there are in order to remember which commands you need for which units, for which boss fights, for which arenas.
But you're older now, you remember a bit more.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm getting worse. And so with that being said, I just want to say thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back next Friday with another video game. Of course, new film reviews on Thursdays. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Patreon. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.
Yeah! Rock on!